Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I have for you a mixture haul of different items. This past weekend I went to a rummage sale that supported our local humane society. So basically they just take in donations from whomever wants to donate. And then they just put it together as like a giant rummage / garage sale. And they held it at our fairgrounds in one of the large buildings. So I usually try to go to that every year. I really enjoy going to that. You can find some amazing stuff and it's dirt cheap. And then after I was done going to that, then I went to one of our smaller towns nearby that was holding a vintage flea market at their antique store. So it was an outdoor flea market, and just some of the vendors had different things out there that they were selling. So this is kind of a conglomeration of both of those sales. So we have a lot of stuff to get into, so I'll try to get into that here very quickly. So some of the first things that I got at the rummage sale was this really cool jar. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it or not, but it says Hormel on it, and it says good food, and then the lid also says the same thing. I just thought it was a cool jar. I just have it placed up with my other tins and jars and stuff that I have, but I just thought that was like so cute, such a cute little jar. I live close, probably about maybe an hour away from where the Hormel plant is that makes the lunch meats and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought that was a cool jar, and I literally paid probably like $1.50 for it. So I also got this sugar shaker, just kind of like one you would find in a diner. Has the little flip top for the sugar. So I just thought I would put some of my white sugar in there just to make it a little more accessible, like when you're pouring it into tea or on cereal. So again, I probably paid like $1 or something for that. Let's see what else. I found this really funny cookbook, and I'm going to give it to my sister. I think books were like 50 cents or $1 also. It's called Cooking the Sportsman's Harvest, and I don't know when this was from. I tried looking up to see if there was a date in it, but I don't see. It says it was put out by the South Dakota Department of Game, Fish, and Parks. So anyways, it looks like that. And it just has the most outrageous recipes in this. It's just crazy, like partridge and wine sauce, fruit stuffed wild goose, wild duck with pecan stuffing. There literally was a recipe in here for raccoon. Now, mind you, my sister, raccoon and bread dressing. My sister does not eat most of these, but there's a funny story behind this. And so I just thought she would get a kick out of this, whether she resells it in her flea market or if she just keeps it as like a decoration piece. It was literally, like I said, $1.50, and so I just was like, she's gonna get a kick out of the recipe, so I picked that up for her. I also got a couple other books. This one is called Ghosts I Have Been. It sounded like an interesting book, old-fashioned one. It's by Richard Peck. I like the graphics on it, so I picked that one up to read. This one I just picked up to use as a display piece because it was cool. It's called The Raft, a Del War book. And then the back had they risk their lives, you loan your money. So it's like the war bonds. So I thought that was kind of cool. So this is obviously from the 40s during World War II. So I just thought it was kind of a neat, just a neat book. I like the graphics. It's really pretty. And then the back obviously is very patriotic. So I picked that book up. I also got a Sunday Missal book. I like these kind of things. They're cool display pieces. So it's like a Catholic missal. Just goes through, your different masses and different things like that. So I picked that one up. That again was like about $1.50. And then I also got a crock pot, 5 ingredients or less dump meals. It had some good recipes in it, and especially during the fall, I use my crock pot a lot because I work 10-hour shifts and I don't have a lot of time to cook unless I prep on my day off, which Wednesdays are my day off, or like on the weekends. So I thought this might come in pretty handy. There's some really good recipes in here. Soup, stews, corned beef and cabbage, brisket with sweet onions, maple glazed meatballs, little grandma's chicken and dumplings, Dijon chicken thighs with artichoke sauce. So yeah, it's just pretty much super easy recipes that you can just throw all in the crock pot and just let it cook. So I figured, why not, right? Since it was so dirt cheap. I also got this bag of little plates. I really love the graphics on the plates. I gave my boyfriend a couple of the plates just because they were really cool, but I'll show you. They're all places in Germany. So this is like München. I don't know I think that might be Munich. And then I really love the graphics on this one. This is Rothsburg. Really kind of neat graphics. And it was $1 for this whole bag. And you're probably like, what are you going to do with these? Well, sometimes they make good trinket dishes. They could make good coasters. And if you had like little tiny air plants that you need something to put underneath them, these work really well for those too. Really pretty. Like I said, there were 2 more, but I gave those ones to my boyfriend because he really liked them too. So yeah, so I picked those up for $1 for the whole bag of them. And they are ceramic. And I do speak some German. I can understand it more than I can speak it, but as far as understanding it, I'm pretty fluent. It's just I'm not as good at speaking it, so. All right, and then what else did I get? So they had a table of just antiques, and so the antiques table you had to like purchase right at the table. So I got this really cool vase. I think this was like $4 for this vase. It has no markings on the bottom, but I'm wondering if it was a made in Japan type vase. It's a little dirty inside, but there was probably plants in it, which I'm going to try to put some plants back in it. But it goes with my dining room. I have a lot of green in my house. Green is my favorite color, so I loved the leaf decoration on this. Just thought it was really pretty. And then I got this little bird perched on a log with flowers. I thought it was so cute. It's all ceramic. This does have a marking on it. Let's see if I can read it. English bone china, Staffordshire, England. So, and I have a couple other pieces on one of my shelves in the living room that has these same kind of flowers. So I'm wondering if it's from like the same maker. The bird ended up falling off somehow in the bag. It's ended up breaking off. I'm wondering if it had already been glued on at one time. So I had to re-glue it when I got home. So that's why I'm like very careful with it, because I don't know how well my glue job was. So, but I just thought it was really pretty decoration. So I just have it sitting on one of my shelves. All right. And then I also got this ornament for the tree. It's Elvis Presley. I just thought that was kind of cool. So I picked that up for my Christmas tree. Okay, and then this is, let me see if there's anything else here from, yes, I have a couple more things from that sale. So let me go through those before I get into the haul from the actual vintage flea market. So I got this, potted plant. Well, okay, so I had to repot this, but I bought this pot here at the Rummage sale. I paid like, I think it was like $2 for this, and it's ceramic. Beautiful, has the cherub on it. And then I also got this, it is a black spiked agave plant, and so cool. I love this so much. So I also got this plant there too, and I paid, I think for the plant itself, I paid like $3. So yeah, so I repotted it in this because it was just in one of those black planters that's ugly. So when I got home, I repotted it in this here. So that was one of the plants that I got there. Okay, now this other plant is huge, so you have to bear with me. I gotta grab it here. This is the other plant that I bought, and I only paid $5 for it. It's a snake plant, and again, it is in a black planter. So I bought this tub at the sale for like $2 to put it in. So yeah, I'm super happy with that for $5 for the plant. Like, that plant is massive. So yeah, you can't go wrong when you find stuff like that, like so cheap. I mean, if I would have bought that at Walmart or I don't know, somewhere else, I would have paid way more than $5 for that plant. So okay, so the next thing I have is a bunch of linens. I got there relatively early to the show, but it was already really picked over. So I didn't find a lot in the linens, but I did get some. So I got this whole stack right here. Okay, so let's see if we can go through this without knocking everything over. I got another tablecloth for my table. As you can see, there's a green tablecloth on it already, but I loved this one because it had the fringe on it. And it's like the perfect size for my table too. So I just loved the fringe, and then it does have kind of a design on there too. And it was in really good shape. And I think this was like 50 cents, I want to say. So dirt cheap. So I got that. And then I also got some vintage hand towels. I think in my last video I had mentioned I was trying to find more vintage towels. So I got this pink hand towel, and this one is the Canon brand. So I got this, and growing up my mom had towels like this, so it kind of brings back some memories. But I got that pink towel. This one I don't think is really that vintage. These came in a pack together. I think I paid like $2 or $3. So there's this one that's in there. This is a JCPenney, I think. Yeah, JCPenney collection one. So probably maybe 80s or 90s for this one. It's probably not really that old, but. And then another Canon one. This one's in yellow. In my bathroom, I have a lot of pinks, yellows, oranges. It's very retro-y, so I just thought that this one would go in there too. And I don't know if this one has a tag on it, but yes, this one has a much older, or maybe it's a little bit newer tag. I don't know. If somebody knows, you can comment, but that's another Canon one. And then this one I love. Now, this doesn't really go in my bathroom with my colors, but I love this one just the same. I just think this is such a pretty towel. I love the blue roses on it. And I don't think this one has a tag. Oh yeah, it does. Callaway. So another vintage tag. But yeah, these are in really good shape, and like anytime I get like stuff like this, I just make sure to wash it in really hot water with color safe bleach. And yeah, I love the vintage towels. Okay, and then I got this was another pack of towels. I got a vintage little dishcloth towel, just kind of yellow and white. And then it came in with this one, a little embroidered, super cute towel. I love that embroidery. So cute. So those two came together, and then they also came with a doily and another like a dresser scarf, and I have those already put away, so I won't be showing those. But and then I think in that pack of towels, this one came with it too. It's just a plain beige towel, and this one just says Utica, which I think is like a more modern one. And then this pack was together a couple of little USA towels, hand towels. Not necessarily vintage, but I don't really have any like 4th of July towels, so I thought that would be kind of cute to have. And I think those were 50 cents for the pack of 2. And then I also got 2 Canon bath towels, so bigger bath towels. In kind of that mauvey pink color, and they're in pretty good shape still. So I got 2 of those, and those came in a pack together as well. I think they were literally like $2 or $3. And then this one also came with it. This is a little bit more of an orangey colored towel, but it's still a Canon, still has that same design on there. In pretty good shape, and they're very, very soft. So I was really happy to add some because, like I said, I have been looking for some vintage towels, so I was happy to add that. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff. I also got a new coffee pot, and here, I'm going to show you the coffee pot, so hang on a second. Okay, I'm back. So I got this coffee pot at the Rummage sale too for $5. Obviously they probably replaced this because it's not the same color. It probably would have came with a black coffee pot, so this probably got broken and they bought a replacement, but that's okay. My other coffee pot's kind of getting a little like old, so I figured, I'll try this one. So I cleaned her all up. I ran vinegar water through her. That's a good way to clean out your coffee pot. Got it all cleaned on the inside, and you know, it works great. I brewed hot water in it already. So it's a Mr. Coffee brand, and then the top just, where is it? Opens up here. And what I really liked is it has a filter in it already. So like you don't have to use like the coffee filters, the paper ones. You can just use that. So right there, that's already saving me money on buying coffee filters. So, and my other coffee pot uses the paper filters. So I'm like, cool, you know, that's already saving me money right there. So for $5, I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Like, you're gonna pay way more than that somewhere else for it. So that was a good find. Okay, so on to a few things that I got at the vintage flea market that was held at the antique store. The first thing I got was this adorable little Avon decanter. It's like a perfume decanter, and it is a thermos, a little tiny thermos. Oh my gosh, how stinking cute is that? I think this was like $5 or something. So I cleaned it up, and you would unscrew this to use the perfume in it, which I'm not going to open. I'm pretty sure when I smelled the box, I was like, yeah, it smells like old man perfume. So anyways, but I just love the little decanter. So cute. So I went and put this up with the other plaid thermoses and stuff that I have here in my kitchen that you've seen on past videos. So if you haven't watched those videos, go back and watch them, because there's some really cute plaid thermoses and picnic basket and such. So anyways, I picked that one up. And then I also got something I've been wanting for a long time, and I've actually seen it online. I was going to order it from a seller online, and then I didn't. Sometimes I just like to try to find things in the wild and not necessarily like, you know, just have it curated where you just buy it. So I have been looking for an isomatic, and if you know what this is, then you know. basically, if you have large chunks of ice cubes, and you want to grind them into smaller pieces for drinks, whatever, you would put them in here. You can see the grinder in there. And then once you get those in, then you just turn this to grind it up. And then you push this button, so the button on both sides, and that's how you dump your ice out. So I threw this whole thing, I undid it and I threw the whole thing in my dishwasher to clean it because it was pretty dusty. But I am so excited to have this in my collection. And it does have a thing where you can mount this on the wall if you want, but I'm just going to keep it on my counter. So yeah, the Ice-O-Matic. I just think this is such a cool retro piece, like just very neat, so I definitely am going to try it. I don't have any ice in my freezer right now, but I'll have to look for my ice cube makers and make some ice and then try it out and see how well it works. So I was pretty stoked to find that. I think I paid $12 for that, which isn't too bad. And then the next thing I got, I didn't get too many items at that show. A lot of things were a little overpriced, but the next thing I got was a tablecloth, and I just fell in love with this tablecloth. It's a vintage tablecloth. Christmas, obviously. Look at our little Santa Claus. Isn't he adorable? So pretty. There's little ornaments with Santa and everything right there. Like, they literally don't make things like this anymore. Look at the little Santa Claus. Oh my gosh. We got the reindeer with the candles. And this is a good size, it's a good size cloth. So, yeah. But I just fell in love with this cloth, and I think this was $10, I think she was charging for it. It does have a stain on it, but I'm not worried about that because these cloths were well loved. There's the stain. Everyone pulled these out for their Christmas occasion with their family, and yeah, I just really don't care about the stains because it just means that somebody loved this enough to use it, and yeah, I just love it. I think it is so cute. So I can't wait to put that on my table for Christmas time. The next thing I got was a pan. I had to research this one because I had no idea what it was. It came in its holder, and it's from the 1970s. It's ceramic coated metal. She had 2 of them, and she was only asking $5, which was a steal. It barely looks like it's been used. It is oven safe. And I looked it up online, and there were some going for like $40, $50, $60 online. So I really got a steal of a deal. So this would be great for making casseroles, and then you can set it in the holder while it's hot to keep it off your counter, which is really cool. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I didn't know what brand it was, and even when I looked it up online, it just said 1970s. It didn't actually give me a brand, so I'm not 100% sure on the brand. So if you know what brand this is, leave a comment. Otherwise, yeah, I just think this is so cool. So retro looking. Let me think. Was there anything else? I tried to gather everything that I could, because some of the stuff I already put away just because I was like, you just want to start using things once you clean them up. So I think that was... Let me check one more thing. I had one more item, I think, so let me go and check that quick. Okay, so I did have one more item. Not the plant. The plant was already mine, but I did get this planter. I got this planter for $1 there, and then I just repotted this spider plant in it because it was outgrowing the other pot that I had it in. So I just thought this was kind of a pretty pot. It just has like ivy and berries on it, and yeah, it was dirt cheap. So I did repot that spider plant in there once I got home. And then the other item that I have wasn't purchased at the Rummage sale or at the flea market. It was one I purchased online, but I wanted to show it to you because it's pretty cool. So there's an online reseller site called Vinted, and I've been looking for some crocheted couch pillows. You know how I love my Afghans, and so I found these two pillows I offered her 10 for both of them, and she accepted. So I got myself these 1970s crocheted pillows. These were exactly like what I was wanting. So yeah, they're really wild, they're really bright, but I love them. So very cushy, very squishy, no weird smells or anything, and they look great on my couch. So that was just one item that I wanted to show you that wasn't purchased at the shows, but something I recently purchased online. So anyways, that is my haul. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'd love to hear any comments if you also have any of these items in your home that you use, or if you know the names of things like this pan that I wasn't sure what it was. But yeah, that show is amazing. I absolutely love going there every year because there's just so much, and you can find so much for dirt cheap. I think I bought all that stuff with the plants and everything, and I think I spent $40. I mean, that's not bad. So anyways, if you like these kind of videos and you would consider subscribing to my channel, I'd love to have you, and I will catch you in my next video. Have a great day.